Starting today, I'm going to be challenging myself to make an animation test every single day for the next 30 days, in the hopes that maybe I will improve my animations a whole lot faster than if I were to just tinker on a brick film, such as the Iron Squad. And yeah, I just want an excuse to make a bunch of animation tests, and so I think this idea is genius. Hopefully it proves to be genius, but yeah, I'm gonna animate. But not only am I going to post an animation every single day, I'm also going to take you behind the scenes and document the entire process, so that way not only do I learn more about animation, but I also share a bunch of tips and tricks with you along the way, so you get a lot of value out of it as well. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go animate. Let's go do it. I don't know how to transition from this intro. Let's go in. First things first. We must clean this. But I don't feel like doing that. So, instead, I'm gonna use my little handy dandy trick of snapping. And if I snap, it should work. Let me try this. Hold up. Hey, it worked. Okay, let me actually grab my webcam. I'm not animating on the DSLR. I'm animating on the webcam because I want to have fun with this. The DSLR is good, it's just, webcam's just nice. It's really nice. Anyways, I got Stop Mission Studio pulled up here. All I gotta do is hook up my webcam to my computer. This is a webcam tutorial. That's what it's turning into. Anyways, I got my webcam hooked up to my computer. There it is, right there. You can see it, right there. Okay, we're gonna press that, and boom, WatchyTune. It's basically a free little app on the computer that hooks up to the webcam, which is really nice, so I can actually control the webcam. Look at there, we can even focus. Ain't that swift. Let's actually figure out what we're animating. I'm gonna try animating some camera movement. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna animate some camera movement and see how it goes. You know what? We're doing it. Yep, we're doing it. Smiley face dude strikes again. I just want to get some good backlighting here. What if I did that? Let's see, backlight there, like so. Okay, I tell you what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be kind of simple, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to have old Bob here jump up, and as he jumps, the camera's gonna track him, just to kind of get me into camera movement. Because like I said, I don't have like a whole bunch of knowledge of camera movement. Like I have knowledge, but I haven't put it much to practice. So let's just do something simple like that. Alright, let's get animating. This looks so goofy. Okay, now we're gonna get into the jump, something like that. Now we'll have the camera bounce back up. I'll probably have him do like a little kick. This has potential. This has potential, looking really cool. Just whether it will or not is the question. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the rig. Don't ask, this is just what I have. Wait, that actually, hold up. This might actually look pretty cool. Wait, hold up, what is this? I can have him do like a, where he like flips and then like kind of lands here. I kind of want to do that now. This has potential, hold up. I was gonna do something basic, but this is looking cool, so I'm just gonna do that. Oh goodness, this thing's falling apart. Use this. Probably should have done that in the first place. Yeah, much better. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. I'm just trying to check and make sure this is gonna look smooth. I'm just making sure like the head is moving, it's following an arc, and it will follow an arc. The arms are looking good. I don't know about the legs. Let me just see how this looks. Actually, that kind of looks good. If I just follow through with that, I think we might have something. Okay, the legs are pretty good on the arc, because you can see they're following a pretty clean arc there. They start here, then they, swoop up from here to here, and then they go, here to here to here. Maybe I could pull up yeah. You can see the legs are following a good arc there, they're swinging. I like that. The arms, however, let me see. Yeah, the arms are looking good too. Yeah, the head's good too. I like how the head's moving. The torso, however, no, I can't do that. Because you can't just have the torso just flinging around like that. Because he just left the ground and his torso moved to the left. You see? Moved up and to the left. And so if his torso flings to the right, that doesn't make sense. Because he just left off the ground in one direction. He can't just, it looks like he pushed off something and went off in another direction. So I can't have that. Okay. However, could have, this is looking pretty good. Legs are still following an arc. Head is very much following an arc. I like that. Arms are good, I think. Let me take this frame so it looks. Yo, wait a minute. That looks good. I'm taking that frame. I'm taking that frame. That looks really good. We're kind of reaching like the peak of his jump here. Yeah, we're kind of reaching the peak of his jump, so we can't have him just speed up like that. Because when you reach the peak of your jump, no matter what the jump looks like, no matter how crazy it looks, you gotta slow down at some point. Because that's, you know, gravity catching up to you. And then you start falling down. This would look unnatural. Because it just looks like, yeah, it looks unnatural. So we gotta have him slow down at the peak here. So he's still spinning, because he's still got that momentum. He is, like, at his peak of his jump. So he's kind of like this. Almost. Actually, if I want to follow the leg arc, key takeaway here is just make sure every bit of the minifigure's movement, every part about him is following an arc. Like his head, his feet, his torso. Make sure they're all following an arc. And if you can do that, you can get something looking pretty smooth. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And I'm going to have the camera kind of wobble a little bit. Maybe I should move this up a little bit, because he's still at his peak. So he's still continuing his movements. His torso is the anchor point, which it kind of has been. Oh, he's way back there. It kind of has been the anchor point here, where the torso is like the moves the least. Legs and head is like spinning around, but the torso is kind of centered. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna keep this torso as the anchor point. See how this looks. I like that. Yeah, it kind of slows down at the arc. He's gonna start dropping now. So he's gonna do like a backside kick jump. He's not gonna do like a full flip. He's just gonna pivot here and then he's landing back on his legs. I have no idea if this is an actual jump. This is just what came out. I didn't even plan this. This is where he kind of gravitates. I should probably rack the focus now that I think about it. I should probably do that. Focus a little bit. I'll ease into it. I forgot all about focusing. Maybe? Wait. This is either gonna look really weird or really cool. Because once he starts... Wait, can you actually do that? Can you... I don't know. We're defying gravity here. He's gonna flip back up to a standing position. The leg animation looks really good. I really like the leg animation. It follows a really nice arc, because you can see it just curves like that. It's really nice. The head does the same thing. You can see the head, like, you know, goes up and around and kind of in a curved manner. That's another arc there. And then the torso does the same thing. It's just more central and grounded. And then the arms, yeah, they're kind of following an arc. They're there. Not the smoothest thing in the animation, that's for sure. But I'd say overall, this looks really good so far. Something like that. I'm just looking at the legs. I think I'm going to base a lot of this animation off the legs and just like making sure they're keeping consistent. Okay, arcs of the leg looks good. Everything looks good except for the head. The head like kind of dips to the left. Okay, I like that. We'll roll with that. Then we'll rack the focus a little bit. Also like move the camera down a bit. Maybe he does a split. Yeah, let's just have him do a split. That would make more sense, I think. Okay, now we can get rid of this. No, wait, this looks really weird. The legs are following an arc here, I think. They kind of swoosh around, which is fine. I think it's what they're supposed to do. Okay, the torso. Let's look at the torso. Okay, wrong position. Because the torso is supposed to land... Like, he just went up here, now he's gonna go like right here. but he didn't. He went over there. So we're gonna move him back a little bit. There we go. Yo, there we go. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. I don't know if this looks good or not. Wait, hold up. No, he's gonna continue turning because he can't just completely stop turning. He's gotta rotate a little bit more. Let's see, let's just think here. He's got some impact, unless he just lands this cleanly. I gotta show a little bit of impact. Okay, I like that. Have him kick back a little here, just to show some impact. And then he's gonna come back to it, just to show that he just like made a little impact. Same with the camera here. Okay, and then maybe if I continue this movement, ease out of this movement. That's not bad. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. You know, that's honestly not bad. I think the falling was a bit graceful, like almost too smooth, you know? I'm trying to figure out why it looks so graceful. Yeah, when you cut this frame out, it looks a lot more impactful. Yeah. So that's an option. I wouldn't do that here though, I'd do that in my editor, so I still have the frame. But you know what? I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. You know what? Yeah, since this animation is like really good, I'm just gonna break down real quick like what made this look so good. Just a few takeaways here. First off is like this build up here. You can see that he snaps into like this anticipation pose where he's about to do this, whatever you call this jump. He shakes around a lot and then he eases into the movement and then he launches. Like a little movement here and then a bigger movement and then he launches. You can see the peak of the jump here. This is critical to do a good jump, is you just kind of want to float up to this peak here. You can see that like right here, and his torso kind of just peaked at that line right there, and you can see that was like the peak of the jump. And so I kind of just eased out of there and kind of just surfaced the peak to kind of give the minifigure time to let gravity sink in, for lack of better words, and kind of start to drop. And you can see that there, and then he starts to drop and then he drops, and his legs follow his leg movement. It is following a clean arc here. It's swooping around there, and then it does like something else there. I don't know if you would still call that a good arc, but I think it turned out pretty good. The torso just went up and a little to the right, and then boom. And you can see that right there. Up and to the right, and then down and to the right. And it just follows this nice clean arc. And then he stops, and then, you know, you got the impact, and that's him like moving his torso over to the side. Yeah, that followed a clean arc there. The head movement, I really like the head movement. You can see it like pivots down to the right there, and then it swoops back, and you see that. Really like that. Kind of goes in like a semicircle, like he starts here, he ends here. See? Like pretty similar starting positions, like position wise. And in between that is just him swooping his head around and landing back to that. When you pair all of those little arcs together, you get something that looks pretty good. And yeah, I think those are the key reasons why this animation looks so good. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, like it's far from perfect, don't get me wrong, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And for day one, I think this is a success. Yeah, I want to do more animation tests. Anyways, and with that said, I will see you tomorrow. God bless you, and have an awesome rest of your day.